During a portrait shoot, first and foremost, I think my responsibility is to, first of all, have a reverence for the assignment and what the assignment, the parameters of the assignment, how the assignment and how the subject of the article, especially in a magazine setting, would affect the outcome of or would affect the image. I think my goal doing portrait work is to create a likeness of the individual that's galvanized in that still photograph. Oftentimes when I'm photographing people that are in the media and well known, we've seen them many, many times in many different situations, whether it's in paparazzi photograph or photographs in other magazines or in film. And I have to really acknowledge the fact that the likeness is really important, and allowing that individual to be recognizable, but still within that allowing my artistic sensibility to help that and to augment that. In terms of making subjects comfortable within a shoot, I feel like I have really good people skills, and I usually try to find common ground, whether it's a mutual friend or a project that the individual participated in that moved me, or that I'd seen, a book that I'd read, a career that I'd followed. And that's usually pretty easy to do, to find common ground, especially when the goal of the day is to do a job. I think the subject as well is aware that it's good to sort of strike and establish a rapport. In terms of making them feel comfortable during the setting, I think it's really important to really make it clear that I'm in control of the situation, that I'm not wavering, that I really have done my homework and that I've set things up, and that the subject feels like they can be walked through the situation, that I'm not wishy-washy about what I want to do, that I really have a good sense of what I want to do. And I call it, having plan A, but always keeping myself open to plan B, if something presents itself. Oftentimes, doing a shoot, things that I couldn't have imagined will happen, and that really brings a lot to the shoot. I tend to photograph a lot of actors, which are really familiar with the camera, and they're also very familiar with the visual communication, and familiar with sort of the artistic pursuit. And so I find them really, really great to work with. Usually what I'll do is indicate early on that rather than doing a photo shoot, they think of this as a portrait session. I think that changes the mindset of the individual to a certain extent. They understand that maybe they're not really required to drive the bus, that I'll drive the bus and I'll talk them through what's happening, and it's a little more staid and a little more studied. And I think right off the bat people are really relieved that I don't have any expectations of them bringing a whole lot to the shoot initially. They're not having to think of what to do. I can talk them through it, and I can indicate what I need and what I want. And I think that's very comforting to the subjects.